The school bell echoed through the empty halls, signaling the end of another mundane day. I gathered my books and headed towards the exit, eager to escape the confines of the dull, gray building. Little did I know, my desire for freedom would soon be replaced by an ominous sense of dread that would send shivers down my spine. As I stepped out into the fading daylight, I noticed an unusual tension in the air. The usual hustle and bustle of students making their way home was replaced by an eerie stillness. An unsettling hush settled over the school grounds, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. I decided to check my phone for any messages or notifications that might explain the strange atmosphere. A single text message sent a chill down my spine. Lockdown. Stay quiet. Stay hidden. The sender's name was anonymous, and fear gripped my heart as I looked around, realizing I was alone in the deserted courtyard. The ominous message replayed in my mind as I hurriedly made my way back inside the school. The once familiar halls now seemed like a labyrinth of shadows, and my footsteps echoed with a haunting resonance. The fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting an unsettling glow that intensified the sense of impending doom. I reached my classroom and found the door ajar. As I cautiously entered, I saw my classmates huddled in the far corner, their faces etched with fear. The teacher, Mrs. Henderson, motioned for me to join them without uttering a word. The somber atmosphere and the palpable tension in the air made it clear that this was no ordinary lockdown drill. Mrs. Henderson whispered, her voice barely audible. "There's something in the school. We don't know what it is, but we need to stay quiet and hidden until help arrives." The air grew thick with anticipation as we waited in the dimly lit classroom. The minutes ticked by slowly, each one feeling like an eternity. Outside the windows, the fading light gave way to darkness, amplifying the sense of isolation and vulnerability. Suddenly, a low, guttural growl echoed through the corridors, causing everyone to freeze. The sound was otherworldly, sending shivers down our spines. Fearful glances were exchanged, and Mrs. Henderson pressed her finger to her lips, signaling for absolute silence. As we strained our ears, the unsettling noises continued, footsteps that seemed to come from all directions, the creaking of doors, and the occasional sinister laughter that sent shudders down our spines. Whatever was out there was getting closer, and panic threatened to consume us. In the darkness, I caught a glimpse of movement near the classroom door. My heart raced as I saw a shadowy figure lurking in the hallway. Its silhouette was distorted, elongated, and unnatural. I held my breath, praying it wouldn't notice our presence. The figure lingered outside our classroom, its malevolent presence palpable. A hushed whimper escaped from one of my classmates, and we all tensed, fearing the worst. The seconds dragged on like hours, and the atmosphere grew more oppressive with each passing moment. Abruptly, the figure moved away, the haunting footsteps fading into the distance. The classroom collectively released a breath we didn't realize we were holding. Mrs. Henderson motioned for us to stay put, her eyes filled with a mixture of fear and determination. As we continued to wait in silence, the school intercom crackled to life, startling us all. A distorted voice, almost inhuman, echoed through the speakers, sending chills down our spines. "You can't hide forever. I see you." The school lockdown had transformed into a nightmarish ordeal, and the terror that gripped us transcended the physical confines of the building. As we fled into the uncertain night, the lingering dread left us haunted, knowing that the darkness would forever be a part of us, an unseen menace that could strike when least expected.